In this video, I'm going to talk about what I know so far regarding the February NFT Reward Competition, and I will also show a build design I made for a no NFT, no nuclear power red steel build. This isn't like the usual organized videos I make because I don't have all of the official competition details available to me, but here is what I do know. The next competition will be on February 21st, 2023, and the meta will be red steel with a couple of twists. So the reward structure will be an NFT prize to the top 4,500 players with a minimum of 50,000 points in order to be eligible. The NFT prize will be a ghost card. However, it has not been confirmed which ghost card it will be. As usual, the better your ranking, then the better the rarity of the NFT. Now, I'm not going to explain how to make red steel again or all of my suggestions, but if you haven't done so, I highly recommend checking out my February Gala reward competition video, as I explain everything you need to know about how to make red steel and basically how the competition goes, and also show a different build design that will still work for this next upcoming competition. Now, as for the twist for this next competition, the main ones are research will have different material costs, most noticeably the global movement speed buff. Although the costs haven't been confirmed as of me recording this video, we can expect to see some items such as food parcels and fancy cakes be required in order to craft the global movement speed buff. Which means that if players want the global buff, they will have to come up with a plan to have these items ready to craft the global buff as soon as they can afford it. The miner engineer buff will be replaced with the water boy speed buff, which makes the water facilities workers move faster. It's important to keep this in mind for when you're designing how your warehouses will be set up in your build, as you will probably want your warehouses closer to the mines, since when you upgrade the water facility, the water boys will move faster than the miners are able to move. Nuclear power plants may actually cost a large sum of stars in order to build, which means making nuclear power plants will actually take away stars or points. So you will drop in the rankings once you start crafting one. You will have to decide if this makes it worthwhile to even build nuclear power plants in the competition. Now, once again, not all of this has been officially confirmed just yet and is subject to change. As most of you know, Townstar has been doing an AMA or Ask Me Anything every Friday, where they share a ton of information and answer questions. And this is how we find out the official competition information. So we will get official information soon, and I will have another video over the weekend with this official information. Now, the main thing I wanted to show here is this no NFT, no nuclear power red steel build. It doesn't stray too much from the original design I shared, and it can still be improved upon a little further. This build utilizes a north layout desert with a mountain on the east side. But I always like readjusting it so that the mountain's on the south side. That will give you the oil seep in this location right there. So unless you have this specific biome layout, you won't be able to even copy this build. But regardless, I hope that it gives you an idea of how the oil seep can be utilized. So this build makes an average of 39 red steel per hour, almost 40 per hour. This is before research buffs, of course, and if I am able to, I will show what rate is expected with research buffs later on. Now, despite having almost the same rate, there are a few noticeable changes on this build versus the last no NFT red steel build that I shared that was not in the desert biome. So this one does have one more mine, so there's 16 mines total instead of 15. It does have one less warehouse. It does have one more water facility, and most of the steel mills have more than just one passive water drum. Also, there's no need for oil pumps or a forklift to pick up the crude oil. as I have the Oil Seep that is passively supplying crude oil to the refinery and power plants. And there are no nuclear power plants, which makes me able to afford this build for less money, and it will still run efficiently. So it can definitely be done without nuclear power, but I believe the Oil Seep really is necessary in order to achieve that in this build. You see, this build is not fully passive energy. These two steel mills right here only have 4 passive energy supplied to them, so they will have to go and pick up 1 energy, which means that the energy must be crafted. Energy is crafted from this power plant right here, and any excess energy is sold to prevent the warehouse from jamming. Now, if you did want to make this full passive energy, then it's really simple. You will have to build just the 1 nuclear power plant right here, and that's it. That will make this one and this one have 5 passive energy instead of 4. So trying to improve this build with multiple nuclear power plants would be too difficult in my opinion, and involve moving around a lot of buildings in order to actually do it efficiently. Now this build is obviously auto selling red steel, but it's also auto selling water drums and energy in order to prevent the warehouses from jamming. It is auto selling gasoline, but that's not necessary, and it should never be auto selling iron unless the build somehow becomes unbalanced after the research bonuses. But like I said, it can still be improved further even without NFTs by getting rid of like 1 or 2 water facilities and replacing them with tree farms, because I did notice there is probably a lack of lumber that's stopping it from achieving a higher red steel rate. Now if you do own NFTs such as ghost cards, it will really depend on which ones you own and the rarity in order to figure out what the best balance is. But really that's all I wanted to show with this one. Hopefully you found this helpful and interesting. Consider liking this video and let me know if you are practicing for the next red steel competition. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't so you don't miss out on any of my content. I appreciate your support and I thank you for watching.